we're doing scary stories with Hyper. So if you guys do enjoy, don't forget to leave a fat like and comment what was your favorite scary story. Anyway, time to get into the video. So anyway, this is about the clown in the drive-thru at McDonald's. So anyway, I'm doing my late night shift and then in the drive-thru, cause you can't come in at the middle of the night. There's only drive-thru. But anyway, so this clown dressed as Ronald McDonald. I'm like, sir, it's only drive-thru open, and you have to be in a car to come to the drive-thru. And he starts laughing like creepy, man. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm not fixing to be putting up with this. So I'm like, man, I'm strapped, so you don't want to mess with me. And he starts laughing again. And I'm like, bro, this guy is like so weird, man. So next day I tell my boss, he's like, don't even worry about it. And I'm like, alright, whatever. So he's like, you can go home. You have late night shift again tomorrow, though. And I'm like so mad because I just worked my late night shift. But anyway, next night the clown like starts laughing again, and I'm like, what are you? And I'm like, excuse me, sir, what are you laughing at? And he has blood coming down his head, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not fixing to put up with this. So I tell him to leave right now. I'm calling the cops. I call the cops, and they're like saying that no one's here, and like you're good to go. So I'm like, nah, there's somebody here. But anyway, so the next night, on my next shift, my last shift, my boss was like giving everybody a raise and stuff, their checks, you know, paycheck day. But anyway, since the clown was beating his head hard and blood started coming out of it, I looked at my boss and blood was coming out of his head. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. And there he is, the clown. My boss was the clown the whole entire time. If you guys did like that story, don't forget to comment. Anyway, moving to story number 2. This is a story about how my little sister played with dead flesh and she thought it was her friend at the beach. So, my sister was just playing in the water by herself. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I thought I was eating me some snacks and stuff like a sandwich or whatever at the picnic stand. So, my grandma was checking on my sister, but she didn't have her glasses on. She thought everything was okay. My sister started talking to somebody, and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" She's like, "Nobody." And so then I walk away from the pond. We're at a pond, so I'm like, "All right, nobody's good. You're cool. Just keep on going or whatever. Keep swimming." And then she's like, "Okay." So she keeps swimming. Now 5 minutes later, my grandma puts on her glasses, and she sees that my sister's playing with dead flesh. They tell my sister to close her eyes so she won't get spooked by anything. And then after that, my sister says all she remembers is playing with the dead person, playing with the little girl. Now 5 weeks later, we hear that there was a murder at the same pond we went to. Alright, time for story number 3. So, it was me and my friend, you know, at school, and they had this nerd. So, everybody started making fun of the nerd. My friend was in it too, so he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, stop capping, nerd. He takes his shoe off and slaps the nerd. I'm like, man, you need to stop doing that. He's like, whatever, dude. And he keeps on doing it. I'm like, whatever, you do you. But anyway. Hold up, stream. I'll be right back. Anyway, back to the story. So the nerd threatened to do like a school drive-by, and my friend was like, yeah, whatever, still slapping him and stuff. So, not a week later, the police catch him, and since they had no proof, since he wasn't around no cameras when he said it, they let him, put him in jail for a month, and they let him out. Anyway, so my friend was like, there's somebody by my house. I'm like, yeah, right. He's like, no, man, I think it's the nerd. And I'm like, bro, the nerd is in jail? And I look at my calendar. I'm like, no, a month passed. So I tell my friend to just peek out the window. It's the nerd with the people that said he's gonna do a drive-by with. So my friend gets scared. I'm like trying to calm him down and stuff. Like, man, you need to calm down. Just don't get scared at all. And then I'm like, alright, man. So go drive your bike to the road, and if you follow, go through the woods and take the pond. So, like, he starts riding his bike throughout the back, and I'm like, man, you need to calm down. Still on the phone with him. So then he's like, yeah, okay. So then I'm like, are you being followed? He's like, yes, I'm being followed by a man. And I'm like, get off your bike and just go through the woods. He goes through the woods, and he said they have men with flashlights coming. And I'm like, alright, man, you need to go through the lake and you need to stay calm. So he's staying calm. And when he starts staying calm, but his breathing starts picking up heavily when he's being followed. So I told him to like do the marine run through the lake, and he's like, alright, man. And so like when he's right by my house, he's like, man, I'm still being followed. Not a minute later, not even a minute later, he's at my house door, and I'm like, alright, man, go through the back. He's like, alright. And I asked him, were you being followed? He's like, I don't know. So I'm like, alright, we'll just check on the security system. So then, because my mom got a pretty camera in the room, monitor. So then I'm like, alright, man, don't worry about it. Anyway, not 5 minutes later, the van pull up to my house and saying, I know you're in there. And then I'm like, what do you want? No, you're not in there. And he's like, since your friend put you in this, you're getting involved too. So I'm like, alright, man, whatever, leave me alone. So, I didn't even know my dad was there, because he just hopped out of the shower, because we didn't even hear the shower going. We tell him about like what's happening, and he gets mad. So he gets his shotgun out and starts going crazy. He looks, the nerd ran away, but the police got him, because they were in a high-speed chase. Time to move on to story number 4, I think it is. Yeah, it's 4. At least it's mine today. Anyway. This is the story about how 2016 killer clowns broke into my school in a lockdown. What's normal day? You know, so I'm here with my friend, like these jocks are gonna dress up as clowns. Well, not even 5 minutes later, well, a day later, they're like, hey, we're gonna do it. Well, they were pretty mad because the store was out of clown costumes, and so then after that, we went to lunch after this major math test, and then they're like, oh man, we didn't have the clown suit. But nobody heard them say it. So we're like, stop lying, man. And then not even 10 minutes later, the school goes on lockdown. Everybody's looking scared and stuff. The principal's like, there's clowns outside. And I'm looking at the people who said they were going to dress up as killer clowns. And the teacher was like, ha ha ha, so funny. It was those kids in class that said they were going to dress up. And then I told my teacher that they're in the class that we're in right now. He looks around and sees them. He gets scared and scared and scared. But anyway, the clowns pull up. The clowns go to the school, pull up with knives and stuff. They threaten to kill the principal. So then we're like scared and stuff because they might come to our class. They started knocking on like random doors and stuff, saying, I know you're in there, I know you're in there. And like every kid was just being creeped out. But the PE kids the most was unsafe. So the kids in PE, they had to go to the boys' locker room since that was the only locker room with locks on it. So they all in the locker room, and they hear the clowns like laughing and stuff, saying they're gonna kill us all. And then like my friend starts getting scared because my girlfriend's in the boys' locker room with where the clowns are like by outside. And so me and my teacher like asked to go to the restroom. Stupid teacher, he lets me and my friend go, knowing that we're not gonna go to the restroom and save my friend's girlfriend. So we go into the boys' locker room and we hear like gunshots go off and stuff. So we run into the gym room now, and like we're almost out of breath. We go to the boys' locker room. The teacher lets us in and say, "What are you crazy boys doing out here?" My friend's girlfriend's happy to see him and stuff, happy that he's safe. And I'm like, I'm fixing to go back out there. You know, like, no man, you're not going back out there. I'm like, yeah. So I go back out there, like nobody's there. But like when I go by the boys' bathroom, I see my friend Nolan's feet cut off and his ankles are on, like what's left. And I'm like, oh my god. So I drag him back to the boys' locker room, like Marine style, pick up, and the PE teacher like so happy, like, man, you're a true hero. I'm like, yeah, I know. But anyway, if you guys did like that story, don't forget to go check out my TikTok video, my TikToks and stuff. So it's time to move on to story number 5, I believe. Is it? No, no, no. But let me think of one, cause I have a bunch of ones. I don't know. I have a bunch of good ones, but I don't know. It's so hard to think of one. Gotta obviously load and I'm gonna think of one. This is the story about how me and my brother and my cousins were witnessed like some paranormal stuff. But you don't believe me. You don't have to believe me, whatever. But my cousins still know to this day. But anyway, it's time to get into this story. So, me and my cousin, we're over there just chilling. My brother's on a PlayStation, like just cranking Fortnite, like he's cracking it. But anyway, so not just that. We start hearing noises outside and stuff, and like these cabinets started opening by itself. Me and my cousin we were just laughing, saying like it was my brother or something. But my brother got out the bathroom and said, "What's going on, guys? I heard something like fall." And I'm like, "Bro, no, you were messing with us just a minute ago." He like, "Nah, I was in the bathroom." And then I'm like, I look at my cousin. He looks at me, and then we see like this woman, the silhouette of a woman, like just screaming our names one by one, and we don't even know, we don't even know who she is. But anyway, so we started getting scared and stuff. So we go to my Nanny's room at the time. She's not even home, so we're home by ourselves. So like we fall asleep like right by each other. No homo. We're not gay or anything. We all have girlfriends except for me. But anyway, so we start getting scared. Like, we're scared for our life. So, when we're scared. It's like 5 in the morning. They come back from like partying and stuff like that. And, like we tell them, nobody believed us, so we're like, whatever. It happened. It happened. Alright, it's time to move on to story number 6. And this right here, what I'm fixing to tell you guys, is a true story that happened to me, my brother, and my step-siblings. So, we're just chilling in the front room one day, like way back then when the Xbox 360 was still popping. They're selling everywhere. And so we're playing Mortal Kombat. Me and my step-brothers 1v1, saying who's better and stuff. So not just that, we start building a fort, cause like we're kids, we're big imaginations, normal, and we start getting creeped out because like there's noises going on. Like we had like this big glass door at the time in the backyard, so we're like ha ha, we start laughing and stuff. Like we're like, haha, nice joke to our our older step bro, and no homo too. If y'all think I'm gay, no homo. But anyway, if we start laughing, I'm saying, haha, stop joking around. He comes in the living room and like he's like, I wasn't even outside, bro. And we start looking around crazy. Well, we see like a man in overall and like a hay, like how they had back then, like the farmers had like a haystack, like a hat or something. Like it was made out of hay, that's all I know. But anyway, so the next day we tell our dad and he shows us a picture. We saw my great grandpa that we didn't even get to meet before he died. But not just that, like a couple of months later, like we were at like a family get together and stuff like that. So like I'm telling my mom, the one that he was married to, I mean her dad, and she's like, none of y'all met my dad yet. How do y'all know what he looks like? And I was like, because he saw him, like he was standing right here, like drawing stuff on the wall. And she started to get creeped out. She like, bro, like she's like, what? And then my dad was like, they saw your dad. And yeah, and I was like, yeah, we saw his great grandpa. But anyway, she didn't believe us. But like a month later, my auntie, she believed me and my brother, because here's what happened. So she said not just that, like I think she said the same thing happened to her when she was fixing to get ready to go to sleep. Her dog started barking, and she said she seen their dad. And I'm like, bro, did you see the same man? She was like, yeah. And we started getting scared. Oh, this is obvious. Anyway, so she tells my mama, and they're like, so then we tell some more people about it, and man, that stuff's like, and they all show us the picture, like, yeah, that's him. So we getting scared as could be. Like we're kids, of course we're gonna get scared. So we getting scared, like, oh my god, we just witnessed that. But anyway, if you guys like that story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, this probably tricky though, I'm not even gonna cap. But yeah, guys, if you guys did, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right here. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.